Yeah, good morning to your listeners. Thank you for the platform. Good morning to my good comrade here, Larry. It's all the above you have mentioned. Illegal mining is already a crime. That is why it's called illegal. And there is no one engaged in this activity that, when caught, will not face the full rigors of the law. That is the issue here. We all agree to it. A societal change, yes, it has evolved over time to become a community activity. And as I sit here, the most saddening thing is now the realization that some communities perceive illegal mining as a livelihood activity. And they think it's an alternative between farming, using the land for cocoa, and then digging and exploiting gold. To the point that even when you go in there, you want to engage, they tell you, if you allow white people to come and mine, why shouldn't they, the legal owners of the land, mine gold? So this is a psyche that has unfortunately sunk down in the various communities. And the community resistance that we had at the beginning of the whole Galamsey thing has disappeared. Most often I get youths visiting me when some foreigners, or let me say external people, visit communities. They'll come to you and say, let's go fight. Then you make the effort, and then they tell you bluntly, like I had last week, somebody told me that all they want is I should tell them to give them some of the place to mine. And I said, oh, what's the problem? Oh, if they bring the machine and they dig some 10 acres, then they also dig some 3 acres for us, so that we are in. So they are negotiating. So that resistance that we could have relied on at the beginning has dissipated, and it's unfortunate. I am not sitting here and telling lies that Galamsey is being perpetuated by foreigners, is being driven by young people who and no. There is serious money into it. There is a lot of power engaged in illegal mining. And they are not just politicians, as you see. These are authorities. These are traditional leaders. These are very seasoned, even legal people engaged in this activity. And when they get the chance to sit before the microphone, they talk politics. And as you are talking, I was on the other side just a few months ago, calling for state of emergency when I was in the university. And if you check my track record, you will realize that behind the scenes, I was one of the main power brokers and deal makers as far as UTAG activities were concerned. So as I sit here, maybe with the power to suggest that a state of emergency should be imposed, I'm the last person to call for it. You see,
what has changed?
What has changed is the fact that we'll miss the window of opportunity when we could have implemented it. I've gone to these communities. I've seen some of these people. They are not people afraid of dying. That is the truth. A state of emergency means that we should release our military to go in and shoot to kill. That is what...
That's really the case.
You've seen it even in your networks. They resist the military. They resist the police. So that is the challenge here. Is it an option to send the military in there with the order to shoot to kill people in the thousands? Because it is not like when they hear you are coming, they are going to stop. It's going to be a cat and mouse game. They will resist, some will be shot, they'll move to the next place, you move the military there, kill a few people, and they will move. That's what is going to happen. We need to slowly but consistently tighten the monies that flow into it, and then make sure that access to the equipment, that is where the damage is coming from. This thing called Galamsey has been with us for several years. The only problem is that money has gone into it, and some manpower, that is equipment, has also gone into it. That coupled with people who are highly connected with the ability to get the gold out of this country for the windfall, it fuels it. So our effort to first make sure that we have a stranglehold on gold exports, that will limit the extent to which gold flows out of this country. We can then begin to identify, see some gold and other things. If the money is not flowing back into Galamsey, I assure you that we can then, with very limited effort, bring this under control. I also think that over the years, the effort and even more so now, to control the movement of excavators, even though it appears slowly, but it will eventually make sure that people don't have the equipment to go into a Galamsey. I have toyed with everything. There are times I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel like, okay, why don't we just send in military, give them explosives, and then they lace these excavators off and blow them off. And now that thought has not dissipated from my mind, and I'm still toying with it. Is it possible that if we meet an excavator within 100 meters of a riverbed, we blow it up? That's still an option I'm thinking of. So all the options are on the table. It's just that you have to carefully implement them. And one of the things that have also changed is that I've realized that this is our chickens coming home to roost. The unemployment that we have generated over the years. I met one of my students. I used to teach. In fact, I felt that at a certain point in time, this guy would become a university professor. He was so good that he could engage with you at any level. I didn't see him, so I was thinking of given how this intelligent this guy is. He's probably in Harvard or Yale pursuing, only for me to realize that he's in a Galamsey pit. Yes. He saw me on TV and then he called and I was like, when did you come back? He hasn't found a job ever since he left school and he's digging gold. These are the people are calling we should send guns after. So is it my fault as a university professor, or is the fault of government historical failure? So if you sit here...
You want to mention his name?
No, I don't want to mention anybody's name. I don't want to mention anybody's name. And it's not only him. He mentioned a number of people who were in there.
A number of his mates.
Mates who are in there. It's not people who are just uneducated and so who are there. It is some people who are highly educated, who can't find jobs, who we have failed over the years, that have resulted to that. So solving the unemployment problem is one key challenge. We also need to think of something, that if we don't retool and retrain people and diversify them, they are in there with firearms, they are in there engaged in drug abuse, and these are criminals ready to unleash whatever mayhem they get onto the city. So it is not just a matter of going in there and saying that you can drive them away. We need to provide alternatives to people, because the Chinese and whosoever that were involved in it have found a way to go backstage and then push our own people onto us, push our own community onto us. And the fight now is about Ghanaians against its own people and its own communities, not like foreigners. Yes, it is good that if we are able to target the export of gold and the purchasing of gold and other things, we will eventually be able to separate the clean gold from the dirty gold, and then perhaps try to control how gold is marketed. I believe if we get these things done, we can eventually be able to cut the funding from Galamsey and goes. If you take example for in countries that they are dealing with illegal drug, they have toyed with all the force before, but they realize that at the end of the day, they say follow the money trail. The money trail is where the solution is. If we can cut off the money that goes back into these mines, we can solve it. Yes, I know some people engage in Galamsey advocacy because they think it's a political tool. It is fanciful, and I was also engaged in fundraising not long ago. So I know that when you appear to be engaging the big shots, somebody thinks that, okay, he's fighting with the president on his weakness against Galamsey. It raises funds, you see. So people do it for the purpose of the fundraising. Others do it for political gain. They want to make government look weak. But as I sit here, I have told people time without number that if it comes to Galamsey, I will have no mercy and I will have no friend as far as you are not on the right side. I'm still not completely handed over yet. I can go back to the university anytime. So when I get you, I'll make sure you face the full rigors of the law. So is my boss. Every day we talk about it. We're like, okay, this thing, what is the best way? And we feel that we need to train, reform the system, and gradually, there is no quick fix to Galamsey. Anybody that thinks that we can impose a state of emergency and then boom, Galamsey is gone. No. It is much, much a bigger problem, and we missed the opportunity when we could have used force to stop it. Now it is pervasive, it's in the various communities, and it can only take consultative efforts and concerted efforts by all to solve it, not the way we are doing it.
Well, Prof.